In this video, we're going to help learning coaches identify missing assignments for their middle and high school students. The first step is to log into your Learning Coach account at k12.com. You know you're in your Learning Coach account because you can see it's green on the side, has your student's name right here at the top, and then has your name over here on the right-hand side. The first step to finding a missing assignment is to enter a class. So this is the student I want to work with, and I'm going to select Algebra. When I select that class hyperlink, this pop-up will appear. And mostly what it's telling you is, if you're a student trying to do your assignments, don't use this because the work won't count because it looks like your learning coach is trying to do your assignment for you. But where we are learning coaches, and yes, we want to log in and view as the student and impersonate them so we can see what their account looks like, we say yes, we want to continue. So we'll select that. Now you can see I'm inside of the algebra classroom. All the information down here all pertain to that subject. This toolbar will always be the same up here, no matter what classroom you're in. To identify the missing assignments, we're going to select this Grades tab. That will open up the gradebook. Here you can see how many points my student has earned out of a possible points for the quarter or the semester. Down here is my student's grade. So this student is currently failing. So we need to make sure we find some missing assignments and get them turned in. As we scroll down, we're going to pay attention to right here under this grade column. And you're going to look at the percentages. So I can see the student has turned in all of these assignments, so let's go ahead and scroll down. The gradebook is usually pretty long, and it's really important to make sure you scroll all the way to the bottom as there are current assignments kind of spread throughout this. As I look down this list, I can see right here I have a 0 marked in red. So a 0% would be a missing assignment, and that's an assignment that's overdue and we need to make sure we get that turned in. So I would get out a piece of paper and I would write 4.12 quiz down. Then as we scroll down more, we have another 0, so I would write down this title as well, and then the next 0, write that down as well. Now below that you see we have a dash with a percent. What does that mean? The dash, it means the task was not assigned, so your student is not accountable for that at this time, so do not worry about those. We are only looking for the 0% missing assignments. All right, I'll continue to scroll down on my web page, and I have a few more zeros that I need to get taken care of and add to the list for my student to complete. And then remember, once again, these dashes, even though there's nothing here, does not mean it's a 0. It has to be an actual 0 to be a missing assignment and get made up. A tip for success I have for you guys over here on the side is to make a list of the missing assignments like we talked about, but now also create a plan with your student or set that specific time for them to make up those assignments. If they have a plan to stick to, they'll more likely to be successful and complete the assignments. So now the question is, I have my list of missing assignments, but where do we go to complete them? If you scroll back up to the top of your page, you see here we have that toolbar. There's two places you can go to find your assignments, and it depends what type of assignment they are. So the Content tab is the first one. This tab is where you go to locate any readings or quizzes. So I think of that as a digital book. It opens up just like a book, and you'll find chapters and lessons within that. So anything the computer system can grade automatically, multiple choice things, or see a reading, you'll find that in the Content tab. Over here in the Tools, you have to click this little drop-down arrow, and it will say Assignments. The Tools and Assignments tab is where you go to locate graded assignments or typed documents. So a Word document that your student needs to turn in, or a document your teacher had emailed with questions that they needed to type up, save, and then upload. Those type of documents are all found over here in Tools and Assignments. So the first one I wrote down was 4.12 quiz. So I would go to the content because it was a quiz. But don't be scared. If you go to the wrong spot and you don't have your assignment there, then just check in the next in the Content tab or the Tools or an Assignment tab. So we'll select Content tab to find our quiz. The first place your eyes should go is over here to the left-hand side. This is going to be where that digital book kind of opens up for you. So you can see here I have Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. So as a note, remember we're looking for 4.12, so I'll click the Chapter 4. After I click that, it opens up all the lessons within Chapter 4. So my 4.12 is located right here, and I will select that. When you select that, make sure you scroll to the top, because if there's a lot of steps in that, you'll need the screen to be at the top so you can see the first thing. So within 4.12, I can see I have 4 readings I need to do, and then I will take the quiz. So right here are all the readings. It's not quite scrolled to the top because I want you to be able to see that quiz at the bottom. What is important to note are all these gray circles. So our student has not even accessed any of these readings before they took the quiz. So we need to make sure that they go back and apply themselves and do the learning and then take the quiz. Once they've accessed these, the gray circles will turn to check marks, and we know the student has at least accessed that. Remember, all quizzes most quizzes can be taken 3 times. So make sure you've done your reading and applied yourself, and then you can come back and try to get a better score. All right, now that we've completed that quiz, let's take a look at the 4.14 graded assignment, part 2 that I wrote on my notes. Where would we go to find that? We'd go back up to our toolbar at the top, select Tools, drop down Assignments. That will pull up a page that looks like this and have all of those type of documents in an area. We'll scroll down until we find 4.14, and here it is at the bottom, 4.14 graded assignment. So I'd select it up here, and that will open up the page 4.14, and this is just like the teacher has handed the assignment directly to you. You have your instructions, any attachments, and then once you've completed your assignment and you're ready to upload your document, you'll click Add a File, attach it, and submit it, and then that will be turned in. So we've discussed going into that algebra class and identifying missing assignments and how to complete them. Now you'll do that exact same thing in every class your student has. So if you click the Home button, it's covered up here, but it's generally up here at the top, a little house. It'll take you back to this view with the blue on the side. Select Classes from the side tab. I really like this view because it's kind of like being in the hallway of a school. You see a lot of different doors to get into the different subjects your student has. So we have physical education, the algebra, the English. You can see your student's current grade in the top corner. So make sure you go into each of these subjects and have your student or yourself go through and identify those missing assignments. Note blended. If your student is blended, won't have a grade because that doesn't go on the transcript. Their homeroom teacher is also something you don't have to identify missing assignments for. A tip for success is that students need a minimum of 60% to receive credit at the end of the semester. So it's very important at the end of a quarter to make sure that you get in your missing assignments and do your very best to bring those grades up to where they need to be to earn credits or to where your goals are set. Over here is just a breakdown of what percentages equal what grades. And this is viewing as a high school student. So if you are a junior high family, I want to note something. You'll also go to the Classes tab, and that will bring up this hallway for you to enter. But you guys have different classes. They're called Stride down here. Stride does not go on your transcript. It is an important support class, but is not the core class for the subject. So you can see here I have Stride Science, and my student has 100% an A. That's wonderful. But down here at the bottom, Physical Science is my actual core class that is going to go on my transcript, and I currently have a D. So we need to get in here and find those missing assignments and complete them. So please don't get Stride confused with their core classes. You can see up here, Stride, and I have not put a star next to it because it's not the class. Stride as well. You have to do it as many times as your teacher says per week, but make sure that you don't neglect your core classes and watch those grades. Thank you to all of the learning coaches and parents out there. We really appreciate you, and I hope you know how important you are to your students' success. And if you have any questions or want one-on-one support, please give us a call at 702-407-1825, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much.